All right. We should be live. Happy New Year, everyone. Hopefully, y'all had a good end of the year and a good transition into this new year. I had a lovely one. I drank copious amounts of alcohol, as one should, and it was very nice. Had a great time, and yeah, I wanted to do a live stream yesterday. And then I woke up and I was like, I don't feel like doing that. So, mostly because I drove a bike and me and bikes were not great friends. So, yeah, let's not do that again. No. So, now that I'm sort of, kinda, possibly human again, I'm alive, first and foremost. I'm in pain. It's fine. And I thought we'll do a fun live stream, look at some quick new discoveries that were made in like the last month of the last year. And then on top of that, maybe just answer some questions in the chat. Of course, I will show my merch because I am wearing my T-pillared sleeve with the logo in the front. And, oh my god, look at this. She turns around and holy shit, it's a Touch-to-Pillar map with T-pillar on the sleeves. It's awesome. So, yeah, you can get the merch, actually, if you want. And you can grab that from historywithkaylee.com. And kind of looks like this website. And if you see this website, you can order this awesome merch. And I'm currently wearing the sweatshirt and not the hoodie because I don't often wear hoodies because, I got long hair. And hoodies and long hair don't always mix well. Usually it doesn't. You just get like this bird's nest on your head when you have long hair and hoodies. Can't help it. But yeah, that's the merch. Let's just jump right in. We have a study that is searching for hidden chambers in the El Castillo pyramid. So yeah, it's an international team of archaeologists, and they are preparing to use advanced muography technology to search for hidden chambers in the El Castillo pyramid at Chichen Itza in Mexico, or Mexico, if you will. I mean, I tried to do the correct pronunciations. I won't always be able to do it, but at least I will try. Who we fighting? We fighting everyone today. Of course we do. What do you think I'm doing here? Like, who are we not fighting today? It's the new year. If you don't start the new year with a fight, then what the hell are you doing? So, Henrik, yes. Go down from Denmark all the way to Holland, and then we will have a fight. Let's do it. We can do it. So the El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kukulkan, probably a better name than the Spanish name that was given to it later on, but who am I to say things about that? Yeah, conquerors and all that fun stuff, not the most fun subject, but at least it was constructed during the 8th and 12th centuries CE. I don't do AD, as you all know. In dedication to Kukulkan, the Yucatec Maya feathered serpent deity. So we've had previous studies into 2018 that used electrical resistivity imaging, ERI, determined that the Temple of Kukulkan was constructed over a large water-filled cavity, a cenote. If you are familiar with this, let me Google this. So, the cenotes in Mexico, they are located around the area of the impact crater of Chicxulub, the, asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. And so these cenotes are only found, or mostly found, in that area. So if you have a map, like here you have a map, I'm not sure if you can see, but like this circle here is where, the Chicxulub asteroid, like that's the Chicxulub crater, the asteroid impact that killed the dinosaurs, and so lots of chunks were flown into space, and then a lot of chunks flew back to Earth. And that's where we find like these cenotes. So yeah, very interesting. But now it seems like this pyramid might actually be constructed on top of one of those cenotes. And cenotes, for the people in Mexico back then, they were very important. They were ritualistic, and quite in their religious mind, they had significance. So, yeah, why build? Also, they would often, if someone died in a community, they would drop the body in a cenote. So, building a pyramid on top of a cenote is quite intriguing, if that's the case. So, the Temple of Kukulkan, when 8th and 12th century ACE. So, honestly, not too bad. It's not as old as the Egyptian pyramids or the stuff in Turkey that we often talk about, but at least like this is quite old still. But on top of a cenote, so the cenote that it might have been constructed on top of might extend to a depth of 70 feet. How much is that in meters, centimeters? 70 feet to meters. 21 meters depth. Damn, that's a lot actually. So the Maya regarded cenotes, like I just told you, as sacred sites, portals to the underworld known as Chipalba. I'm not saying this correct. How to pronounce? This is what my brain is like on a regular day. So if this is a lot for you, sorry. This is Xibalba or Xibalba. Xibalba or Xibalba. I can do that. Xibalba. The first try I did wasn't too bad actually. I've done worse. I've pronounced things way worse. So the Maya regarded cenotes as sacred sites, portals to the underworld, known as Xibalba, and dwelling places of Chak, the god of rain. How do I pronounce that? This is how I normally do my videos, you know? Chak. Okay, I can do that. Chak. Not too bad. So yeah, normally when I write when I do my research, this is what I do. I find a name or something that I have no idea how to pronounce, and it's immediate how to pronounce. So yeah. But okay, not too bad. Please turn the volume up. Am I not loud enough for you guys? I can be louder. I don't think you want that, but okay. There you go. I'm louder. Way louder. And Happy New Year to all y'all. All y'all's Happy New Year's. How many Freedom Eagles per cheeseburger is 21 meters? I don't know, but it has to be at least 5 Ariana Grandes. At least. That's the only thing I wanna, 5 Ariana Grandes, at least. Alright, so, Xibalba and chalk. We can do that. In a new study led by Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, the INAH, researchers will now apply muography technology to identify hidden architectural features within the monument. Well, that's very nice. But muography is a non-invasive imaging technique that uses naturally occurring cosmic ray muons to reveal the internal density of large objects and structures, as well as naturally occurring geological formations. That's very nice, actually. Yep, that's... yes, indeed, Henrik, take notes for the end of stream pop quiz that you probably have to create yourself, because... I have ADD. Seriously, do you think I can remember creating a pop quiz at the end? Definitely not. Definitely not. Alright, so, we shall continue. We have volume control, so no worries. Perfect. So this muography technology, the technique, will first be used to detect 2 known interior chambers discovered in the 1930s when archaeologists excavated an access tunnel. Successfully identifying these spaces will determine whether muography can then be applied to the wider structure to search for previously unknown chambers. I think that's very smart. I think it's very smart to first look at something that we have already discovered, uncovered, researched, mapped out, and to check if this new technique actually frickin' works. Because you don't even know if it fully functions unless you test it out. And if it does work, that would be very awesome. And then we can start using it for other structures and other locations in the world. But first, test it the F out. Thank you. Well, beyond confirming known features, the project could help evaluate long-standing archaeological hypotheses, including the possibility that an earlier substructure within the Kukulkan temple, again, the Spanish named it, but it had a name already before the Spanish came, just like with the mountain in Alaska. It's not Mount McKinley, it's Denali. It already had a name. It didn't need to be renamed. Thank you. But okay. So there is a possibility that there was an earlier substructure within the Temple of Kukulkan, and that served as a royal burial site. If this new research project is successful, the study would mark a significant advance in the non-invasive exploration of Mesoamerican monumental architecture. And I think that this is very important because we have so many temples and hidden archaeological features within the jungle in Mexico, as well as like the jungles in the Amazon rainforest and all that stuff. There's so much. And if we have non-invasive exploration that is more advanced than we currently have, that will just broaden our understanding of the people who created these ancient sites. And I'm all for that. I want that. So yes, give it to me. So the study is endorsed by the Archaeological Council of the National Institute of Anthropology and History, again the INAH, in collaboration with various departments of the National Autonomous University of Mexico, the UNAM, Chicago State University, Dominican University, and Virginia University, as well as the Fermi National Laboratory. So I'm excited for that. Let's hope that this muography technology will be successful in their non-invasive exploration, and hopefully that's gonna do some good in the future. So yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully all y'all are excited as well. So that was that one. We can click it off. It's like, okay, bye, we done you. Next one. Okay. So I did this last year in the beginning of 2025. I did this new archaeological discovery live stream once a month. I did that for about, I think, 3 months because, again, ADD, what do you expect from me? But I'm going to try and do that like monthly now, again. And then in the other weeks, I will either stream or talk about something else that I find interesting. And like stream a game or just talk about fun stuff, things like that. But we will have one live stream a month where we do new archaeological discoveries. Holy hell, thank you, Jim Ross. Thank you for the super chat, and Happy New Year to you too. Okay. So we have a Stone Age dog burial unearthed in a Swedish bog. Archaeologists have unearthed an exceptionally rare Stone Age dog burial in a bog just outside of, how do we pronounce this? How to pronounce? See, this is Jarna. Okay, just Jarna. Okay, I can do that. Jarna. That wasn't too difficult. Okay, it was the 2 dots on the A that I was like, oh my lord, are you serious? Can I even do this? But okay, Jarna. So a dog burial in a bog just outside of Jarna, southern Sweden. The discovery was made by a team from the State Historical Museums in preparation for the construction of the high-speed railway at in Gerstaberg. Okay, how does one What even is this? How is Swedish an actual language? This is Norwegian. That's Norwegian. Why did... I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that, but okay. Is this okay? We're just not gonna try this. Luxiomosse? I don't know. In Gerstaberg, whatever. The burial contains the well-preserved skeletal remains of a large male dog deliberately buried in wetland sediment alongside the funerary offering of a finely crafted bone dagger. I like the bone dagger. I would like one for myself. Yes, I understand the pain of Danes immediately. I already feel enough pain as a Dutch person often needing to pronounce or untangle German words in the German language and sometimes even French. But anything Scandinavian, it's not for me. Not for me. So finding an intact dog from this period is very unusual, but the fact that it was also buried together with a bone dagger is almost unique, says Linus Hagberg, archaeologist and project manager at Archaeological. See, I can sort of somewhat do this. An analysis of the dog remains indicates that it was around 3 to 6 years old at the time of death and stood roughly 52 centimeters in height. It was found with the skull completely crushed and was likely buried in a leather bag weighted down with stones. The poor head of the dog. The poor skull. Several thousand years ago, the site was not a bog, but a clear lake used for fishing. Ritual deposits of dogs are known from the Stone Age, and the find is believed to represent a deliberate ceremonial act rather than a disposal. So it does seem like a ritual dog burial. Yeah. Planned scientific analyses, including radiocarbon dating, isotope studies, and DNA testing, are expected to provide further insight into the dog's age, its diet, and life history. Researchers hope this information will also illuminate how the people who lived in the area organized their subsistence and daily lives. In addition to the dog burial, archaeologists uncovered a wealth of well-preserved wooden remains dated to between 3300 and 2600 BCE. These include driven stakes and posts that may have formed piers, stone anchors, or sinkers, and a 2-meter-long woven willow structure identified as a Mjard, an early type of a fishing trap. Trampling marks in the lake bed suggest repeated human activity, possibly related to fishing or maintaining equipment. Also, it's the Dutch word for what? So yeah, that was the If I sounded like an owl to you just now, it's fine. It was a hoot hoot. I had no idea what it said. But apparently a mjard is an early type of a fishing trap. Shall we look? We will see what that looks like. Okay. So we have these in like quite modern times as well. Probably more like this reed one here. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. My Swedish apparently is great. So I will tell my sister that you said that, because she lived in Sweden for like a number of years. And honestly, I feel like my Swedish is terrible. Absolutely terrible. But thank you. All right. We shall continue. There are networks of submerged stone structures that rewrite early European prehistory, and these were found in Brittany, France. Awesome. We're probably going way too fast through these couple things that I did, but it's fine. We'll figure it out. If we have enough time, we can just do fun stuff in the end. We shall see. It's a live stream. It's going to be a shit show anyway. You joined and you probably knew what you were signing up to. If you expected anything high quality today, I'm so sorry. This ain't it. This is just my brain fully ADDing and just, coping with life and the fact that we started a new year and I need to work on videos and stuff. I just had Christmas and a really great New Year's Eve party. So, yeah. If you expected high quality, awesome Kaylee, that is like super, super freaking professional, this ain't it. And also, this is not a game. Like, this is not me streaming a game. This is just me looking at some new discoveries that were made in the past month and just, having fun. So, archaeologists have discovered a network of submerged stone structures off the coast of Seine Island. That was very Dutch, English, mixed, intermingled. Not necessary. Island. It's island. Okay, that's much better. So, off the coast of Seine Island in Brittany, France, a new study published in the International Journal of Nautical Archaeology, so we've got some nautical archaeology for us today, documents granite complex structures located at a depth of between 7 and 9 meters below today's current sea level. That actually sounds awesome, because 7 to 9 meters below today's current sea level, where the hell is this located? Does this have anything to do with Doggerland? Anything to do with Doggerland? Where the hell are we? Give me a map. Maps. Yes, much better. I want to zoom out. Yes, okay. Wow, much better. Where are we? That's way too low for it being part of Doggerland, I'm afraid. Let's see. Doggerland max extension. We probably won't be able to find anything that I'm looking for. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Actually, looking at Brittany here, I think that was part of Doggerland back in the day. Yeah. So, this area was part of Doggerland, which means that this network of submerged stone structures was above sea level at the time of Doggerland being a thing. I mean, it all comes back to Doggerland, honestly. I felt it and I was like, these structures have a date from approximately 5800 to 5300 BCE, during the late Mesolithic period. That's around the time of the disappearance of Doggerland. So, holy hell. Holy hell. So, that's awesome. Between 2022 and 2024, a LiDAR survey and numerous diving expeditions confirmed that the structures have a linear alignment and date from approximately 5800 to 5300 BCE during the late Mesolithic period and Neolithic transition. 4 structures named Tuff 1, Tuff 2A, Tuff 2B, and Tuff 3 were identified based on the analysis of the digital elevation models in the Tular Fort sector. They are located 1.9 kilometers west of Seine Island and halfway between the northern and southern edges of the submarine plateau, said the study authors. So, I feel like this, and it being part of Doggerland back in the day, tells us a lot. Yeah. Exactly. The Strega slide tsunami happened around 6000 BCE, and Doggerland disappeared afterwards, because we know that it was submerged during the tsunami. Probably parts of it came back above sea level for a while before disappearing completely underneath the waves. So that process may have taken another couple hundred years, just like Doggerbank, because Doggerbank was the last bit of Doggerland to disappear, and it's still, I personally feel like I read that it's still the highest point underneath the waves. That's Doggerbank. So if the sea level were to drop, I think it was less than 20 meters. How deep is Dogger Bank underwater? Let's see. It's not too bad. Yeah, 15 to 35 meters, and this is less than that. This was between 7 and 9 meters. So this most likely came back up after the tsunami. Like the tsunami, we've seen this in Southeast Asia with the big tsunamis that happened there. It's not like a tsunami submerges something and it stays submerged. Some parts of the land will come back above water. So I feel like this was one of those locations that probably bounced back for a while. Because 7 and 9 meters below today's current sea level means that it was really quite high up back in the day. So I'm not saying that that without a reason of a doubt, like it's not 100%, but I am saying it's definitely a part of a story of a possible re-emergence of a bit of Doggerland before it fully disappeared under the waves. So yeah, exactly. Like the Bay of Firth in Orkney, that area became submerged around 2000 BCE, so like 4,000 years ago. So I feel like this probably went back up above water for a little bit, and then a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 years later, it disappeared fully. At least that's what I think. The largest, Tuff 1, forms a 120-meter long wall, as you can see here on screen where my mouse is located. If you can see my mouse, click yes. If you cannot see my mouse, cry. Just, it's one or the other, you know what I mean? But it forms a 120-meter long wall and runs across a submerged valley. The wall is constructed with stacked stone blocks and has more than 60 vertical monoliths and slabs erected on the summits at heights of up to 1.7 meters. This is very reminiscent of that wall that we found a year, maybe 2 years ago now, but in the, wasn't Balkan Sea? No. Let's see, in my personal library of... Yeah, Baltic Sea, that was it. Yeah, you have that Stone Age megastructure in the Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea megastructure. Same sort of time frame, I think. Yeah, Blinker Wall, built about 10,000 years ago, so older than this one, double its age. Okay. But like here you can see part of that like wall. And this is what they found like underwater, like this line. This is the wall that you can clearly see. But yeah. Oh yeah, the 2001 Space Odyssey theme blares when you read monoliths. Monoliths, you say. But yeah, awesome. 60 vertical monoliths. That's quite a lot, honestly. Tuff 2A has a similar architecture to that of Tuff 1 and consists of an accumulation of blocks reinforced by monoliths. Once again, 2001 Space Odyssey theme layers, emerging a maximum of 1 meter from the summit. And then in 2024, because the tough ones were discovered in 2022, and then in 2024, divers also identified 4 additional structures, YUG-1, YUG-2, YUG-3B, and YUG-3C. Why don't we just do YUG-3 and YUG-4? I don't know. But apparently we like to do a BCE whole ABC song with stuff, because they did that with Tuff as well, as they had Tuff 2A and Tuff 2B. But with YUG, we were like, yeah, we don't need an A. We just go from YUG 3B to YUG 3C. Why? I have no idea. But these are each comprising linear stone walls built from decimeter-sized blocks positioned to close off small depressions or valleys. Of note is YUG 3C, a 50-meter long wall built from small monoliths, again, 2001 Space Odyssey theme. Yes, I do have a Twitch channel. It's History with Kaylee as well. I'm History with Kaylee everywhere besides Instagram because... Oh no, on Instagram I'm History with Kaylee as well. It's Blue Sky. On Blue Sky I am Kaylee History because History with Kaylee was too many digits. Character limits, people. Love it. But yeah, I have a Twitch channel. I don't have the Twitch chat open at the moment. I do have my TikTok chat open at the moment with the YouTube chat. So either you can follow me on YouTube or on Twitch, but I'll probably not be able to see your stuff unless I open Twitch here and see if anyone spoke there. Probably should do that. And yeah. All right, so of note is Yak 3C. A 50-meter long wall built from small monoliths, spaced roughly a meter apart, sometimes arranged in 2 or 3 parallel lines. All right, so we have no one talking in the Twitch chat, and that's perfect because there's no one there watching. Awesome. I didn't expect anyone to do that anyway. I'm just streaming to it so that, you know, it has a place to also go. Oh, hey, the Dr. AI. Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard decimeter said outside of the elementary school math class I learned the units in. Awesome! So yeah, for me as a European Dutch person here, decimeter, in Dutch it would be decimeter. So yeah, decimeter, decimeter, same thing. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. They could have been built by the first folk to come to Orkney, as the first folk to come to Orkney came around 9000 BC from a Siberian origin. Awesome. I didn't know that about the first people of Orkney, actually. And I'm quite intrigued by the Orkonians. What is it? Orknonians? I don't know what to call someone who's from Orkney. But yeah. All right, so we have some people at Twitch, at least. So we have people in Twitch. It's fine. We have people on the TikToks, on the Twitch, and on the YouTubes. And so, hi, everyone. So we are going to circle back to this discovery, a network of submerged stone structures off the coast of Brittany in France. So in Brittany, local folklore has long spoken of a sunken city said to lie beneath the western reaches of the Bay of Douarnenez, some 10 kilometers east of Seine Island. The study authors suggest that the presence of human-made stone structures now raises questions about the potential prehistoric... Wow, that went in my head. Again. The study authors suggest that the presence of human-made stone structures now raises questions about the potential prehistoric origin of the legend. It is likely that the abandonment of a territory developed by a highly structured society has become deeply rooted in people's memories. Okay. While the submerged structures off Seine Island are all undoubtedly related, experts suggest that smaller structures could possibly serve as fish weirs. The largest structures, much larger than currently known dimensions for fish weirs, may have also had a protective role. The size and technical nature of the largest structures have no known equivalent in France for this period, concluded the authors. So, I think it's fun. I like nautical archaeology. I have absolutely zero knowledge when it comes to that. Yeah, I have Orcadians. Ah, that was it. I knew it was something. I knew it was... Okay, so people from Orkney are called Orcadians. I knew it was going to be something... Yeah, I knew it wasn't orcs. At least I can say that. It wasn't orcs. But yeah, I like people from Orkney. They're fun. And they have good history. And they have the Ring of Brodgar, the Ness of Brodgar, the Stones of Stennes, Mace Howe. They have Skara Brae. They've got all the awesome stuff. So yeah, the Orcadians have all the cool stuff. And yeah, I do agree with Henrik saying that they should have named themselves orcs. They should have, but they didn't. And so they're not part of Tolkien now. I need to sneeze probably, and that sucks. I don't want to sneeze. I'm just going to say it, I don't want to. I do not want to sneeze, okay? Everyone tell me not to sneeze, and then hopefully hopefully I don't need to. And of course, I wanted to talk quickly about the face reliefs found at Sefer Tepe that date to at least 10,000 years ago. And that's awesome. I love the ancient sites of Turkey. Again, here, I have my back. Sefer Tepe, it's discovered somewhere here. It's all the way on this side. So yeah, enjoy. No, I don't want to sneeze. The moment I sneeze, it's all ruined. Everything is ruined. Okay? Don't do it. No, there's so many lights around me. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, wait. I need to do one thing though. Be right back. Okay. So I forgot to turn on one of the lights that I have. And so much better. Much better. Oh yeah, look at this lighting. Oh, so much better. Ah. Okay, good. No, I do not want to sneeze on screen. Gerd, you have no idea how loud I can sneeze. You all have those, like, the funny videos and stuff of, like, that one person that always sneezes super loud. Hi. If it's my allergies or if I'm sick, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna be that super loud sneezer. And if it's a normal sneeze, it sounds very cutesy. But it often doesn't sound like that, so no. Let's not do that. Let's go back to this 10,000-year-old human face reliefs found at Sefer Tepe. I made a video last year about Sefer Tepe when they found those human skulls there, and I went to Turkey and I took my sneaky photos of Sefer Tepe, and I waited for a month, and then after that I was allowed and able to post that, and those were my never-before-seen pictures from Sefer Tepe. But yeah, Sefer Tepe, one of my favorite sites. Archaeologists in southeastern Turkey have uncovered 2 human face reliefs believed to be more than 10,000 years old, offering rare new insights into artistic expression during the Neolithic period. Oh yeah, absolutely. I blame my dad. I have to blame my dad for that. So, yeah. The discovery was made at Sefer Tepe, one of the sites within the Ministry of Culture and Tourism's Şanlıurfa Province Neolithic Age Research Stone Hills Project, or in other words, the Taş-Tepeler sites. Okay, so much easier, Taş-Tepeler sites. Holy hell, why did we need to do that whole very English Şanlıurfa Province Neolithic Age Research Stone Hills Project? Guys, it's the Taş-Tepeler sites. Come on! Don't be weird. Excavations are led by Associate Professor Dr. Emre Güldoğan of Istanbul University's Department of Prehistoric Archaeology. Güldoğan explained that the reliefs were carved onto the front surfaces of 4 limestone blocks, forming a platform that likely had a ceremonial function. And this, here you can see that face. It's awesome. That is an awesome face. It looks a little bit like Voldemort. I'm just saying. I said it. You've heard it here first. That looks like Voldemort and the first movie. So, Voldemort, Philosopher's Stone. Alright. I didn't need a comma. Okay, so here we've got Voldy. Voldy. It's Voldy. I'm calling it now. That's Voldy. It's so Voldy from the first movie. Right? Tell me I'm wrong. Just tell me I'm wrong. Anyone. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't. I already know. Like Voldemort later video, like the later movies, he looked completely different compared to the first movie. But this face, Voldy, this is the Voldy I first saw in theaters when I was, 9 or 10? This is Voldy. This is Voldy. You can't tell me otherwise. So, they found Voldemort carved in Sefer Tepe, 10,000 years old. That's a video. This is a smoking gun. Exactly. His Turkish ancestor, Voldemir. Voldi Tepe. Exactly. Guys, thank you. Okay. I thought I was going insane for a second. Like, that's Voldemort. Come on. Tell me I'm wrong. All right, both faces are oriented towards the north and have stylistic features that distinguish them from other well-known Neolithic sites in the region, including Gobekli Tepe, Karahan Tepe, and Submerged. Again, all of those are found on the awesome sweater that I'm currently wearing. Get yourself your own historywithkaylee.com. Okay. So, one was created in low relief, the other in high relief, and stylistic differences are clear, Guldion explained. In the high relief example, the pupils, eye contours, brow ridges, nose, and mouth were rendered with exceptional precision. Even the ears are fully visible. The low relief figure, by contrast, shows closed eyes and a simplified mouth and nose, unlike the full-lipped depiction common at Karahan Tepe. Alright, so I only see this one Voldy face, but this, it has ears, it has the nose, and probably these are open eyes. Honestly, it looks like the eyes are open. In Turkey, yes, the Neolithic happened earlier than in Western Europe, for instance. So 10,000 years ago, this is pre-pottery Neolithic, PP&E. So the variations, he noted, suggest that Sefer Tepe had its own artistic vocabulary, challenging the assumption that Neolithic communities across the Şanlıurfa region shared a uniform style. The importance given to the eye, ear, and nose details sets these figures apart. Also, Sefer Tepe is very important for the fact that it has two differing building styles discovered in this one location. You have the Tigris building style as well as the Euphrates building style. The Euphrates building style is the one that you see all over the Taştepeler sites, as the T-pillars that are found there are all created out of one block. But so this is Euphrates building style. But the Tigris building style is a T-pillar constructed out of multiple smaller blocks to create the T-pillar shape. And still it has carvings and everything. So two different building styles for one location, and that is Sefer Tepe. Sefer Tepe, for me, it's always been one of my favorite locations because of that. So, okay. Now that we've covered that, these human faces demonstrate the artistic diversity and regional stylistic differences of the period, he said, noting that the discovery adds a new dimension to the growing archaeological map of the Stone Hills region, the Taştepeler sites. Again, Taştepeler sites. Further analysis and excavation at Sefer Tepe are expected to continue shedding light on how early settled communities communicated identity, symbolism, and belief through stone. But again, before we go, I want to zoom in just a little bit. Look at this Voldy face. You cannot tell me that this is not Voldemort. It's Voldy. It absolutely is Voldy. Same facial expression, everything. So, we now discovered that Voldemort was already carved into stone 10,000 years ago at Sefer Tepe in Turkey. You just heard it here for the very first time. Voldemort dates back to at least 10,000 years ago in Sefer Tepe, Turkey, which is the very, very southeast of Turkey. So, yeah. Why are the faces oriented towards the north? That is a very good question, and I, at this point in time, do not have an answer for you. I feel like when I go back to Turkey in September during the tour that, of course, I have open here for you, you can join the tour. It's in the description of the video. But we will be going back to Sefer Tepe. We will try and get access to the site again. And I will ask the head archaeologist about this. Why are the faces oriented toward the north? the North is not a place of orientation, of having anything to do with the living. Usually the North is the place for the dead. So it's intriguing that the faces are pointing north. Absolutely intriguing. Yeah. Is Nazca building style similar? I do not know, actually. I'm not too familiar with the Nazca building styles. Yeah, I heard about the new dig at Brodgar. At the Ness, right? The Ness of Brodgar, I think. They were gonna do another dig. So for the past, I think it was 20 years on end, they did, or like 16 or 20 years on end, they did digs at the Ness of Brodgar, which is the settlement next to the Standing Stones, like the Ring of Brodgar. And after like 16 or 20 years, they concluded their excavations, and they were like, we have uncovered what we can uncover with our current technology, and we do not want to disrupt further of the site. We want to maintain it and, preserve it for future archaeologists. And then I think there was like a LiDAR survey or something. Yeah, they did a final scan and they found something new, and they just decided this year, they're gonna open it up again, and they will continue excavations at the Ness of Brodgar, and I'm very excited for that. So I've not yet made a video on the Ring of Brodgar or the Ness of Brodgar. I've been planning that for like years on end now, and I've held off on it because of the excavations at the Ness of Brodgar that were ongoing. So maybe in like a year or so, I can finally cover the Ring and the Ness of Brodgar correctly. And that would be awesome. So yeah, they were ahead of their time. I see. They heard about the coming of the Vikings, so they cut the heads of Voldemort to scare them off. I can see that. Yep. Here we have a Voldy, and here we have a Voldy. It's absolutely Voldemort. You cannot tell me otherwise. I'm sorry if I'm like hammering down on this, but that's Voldemort. Holy hell. Okay, so. Alright. I have a pet peeve for two of these next discovery things that I have like set here. This very, very bad AI. Okay, sorry. I'll keep it in. But like this very, very terrible, terrible looking AI picture of a skull. It's so nasty. And this is not the only one. This also does credited AI generated image. It is getting more and more difficult for people like me that love history and want to cover history in a visual format like YouTube videos, for us to do anything when it comes to scientific publications, because there are so many artificial intelligence generated images. How the hell does Feist.org use an AI generated image? They were just too lazy to hire an artist and have them sketch up anything for them. They did a prompt, and it makes me mad. It makes me so freaking mad. I'm turning Scottish because of it. Look at this terrible, oh my god. Here. You want a skull? I have a skull. This is the North O2 Neanderthal skull. If you want to get this one, because you can actually buy yourself this, it's northo2.com, and you grab yourself your Neanderthal skull. It also has this jaw. Okay, see, this is awesome. You can put this anywhere, outside, in the grass, in a tree, do something fun. Take a picture, and then use that for your stupid Science Daily publication article about this. And not an AI-generated image. Holy hell! How hard is it? Grab a skull, any type of frickin' skull, and do something fun with it. And do not use those AI prompt bullshit generated images. Thank you. Holy hell. Sorry. Pet peeve. Oh. Pet peeve. Okay, let's put the skull back where it belongs. It belongs here. Okay? Okay, skull's back. Skull's back. Skull's happy. It's back on the shelf. I have no shelf control, if you have no idea why I say that. Okay? Sorry. My apologies. I have no shelf control. My dad jokes are bad. My puns are really bad. Sorry. Okay, so now that we've done that, pet peeve over. Pet peeve over. I hate AI generated images. Oh my god. Sorry. Okay. So there was a study. Whew, no, I'm still angry. I'm still mad. It's fine. It's fine. I'm turning pirate. That's fine. Okay, so scientists replayed evolution by using probably artificial intelligence, which I can understand because in certain cases, artificial intelligence is very helpful. Scientific communities have benefit from it. Astrology and all that stuff, space exploration, going through stacks and stacks and stacks of like images and like detecting things and whatever. AI, it's not bad. I do not hate artificial intelligence. I hate cheap, lazy AI-generated images, visuals, videos, whatever the fudge. Okay? Okay. Okay. So, using AI to do scientific research, I can accept. But this picture's bullshit. Okay. I don't use any AI models, honestly. I don't use anything AI. I'm quite against it, but also I don't actually do my own like research. I don't have my own PhD or whatever, things like that. Any academic stuff, like I don't have it. I'm usually researching what other people have already researched, and then I communicate that to you. I'm trying to make that research more readily available to everyone and more easily understandable because, not everyone is able to understand scientific jargon. Even I have trouble with that. Yeah. All right. So, the summary of this study was that environmental change doesn't affect evolution in a single predictable way. In large-scale computer simulations, again, this is where you use AI in a good way. Scientists discovered that some fluctuating conditions help populations evolve higher fitness, while others slow or even derail progress. Two populations facing different kinds of change can end up on completely different evolutionary paths. The findings challenge the idea that one population's response can represent a whole species. Okay, get rid of that nasty looking picture. Okay, all living things must survive in environments that are constantly changing. It's part of being alive on this planet and anywhere else in the universe, honestly. Seasons shift from summer to winter, and weather patterns can swing from floods one year to drought the next. Populations of plants and animals are always dealing with new pressures, explains the University of Vermont scientist Chichen Itza. Okay. Ooh. What remains unclear is how this ongoing instability shapes evolution over time. Okay. Patak wondered whether frequent environmental changes actually help populations adapt by preparing them for future challenges, or whether their constant disruption slows progress. Do populations benefit? I can't talk. Let's do that again. Do populations benefit from lots of environmental fluctuations, making new generations more prepared to face future changes? She asked. Or are they impaired, forced to readapt again and again, never reaching the height of fitness that the same populations in a stable environment could achieve? Good question. Okay. So, To investigate this question, Patak teamed up with University of Vermont computer scientist Lapo Frati, along with 2 other UVM researchers and a collaborator from the University of Cambridge. Together, they designed a groundbreaking study using advanced computer simulations that followed thousands of generations of digital organisms. The findings, published in December 15th, 2025, in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, the PNAS, challenged simple assumptions about evolution. We found remarkable variation in how populations evolved in variable environments, the researchers reported. In some cases, changing the environment helped populations find higher fitness peaks, and in others, it hindered them. Okay, good to know. Traditional evolutionary research often tracks a single population living under one set of conditions. Frati explains that this narrow focus can miss important patterns. Researchers often watch the long-term trajectory of one population in a specific environment. We picked an array of environments and see how the specifics of each one influence the trajectory of many populations. I cannot say trajectory today. Sorry. No. My brain's not braining. Okay, let's try that again. Woo! So, we picked an array of environments and see how the specifics of each one influence the trajectory of many populations. See, we can talk. I can talk again. I'm back. To see why this broader approach matters, consider fruit flies living in very different parts of the world. A population in the United States might experience seasonal temperature swings, while another in Kenya alternates between long dry spells and heavy rainfall. These groups belong to the same species, yet they face very different challenges. Oh, ombudsman. Oh, it's a funny word. Yeah, no. Sometimes I just can't talk and I have to slap myself on the cheek and then I'll be fine. I do this often in my videos. You just don't see it because I cut and edit all that stuff out. But yeah, this is me when I film. It's fine. This is normal. Temperature fluctuations might promote better adaptation. Temperature fluctuations might promote better adaptation to both cold and warm seasons, Patak explains. But repeated cycling between dry and wet seasons might actually impede adaptation to drought, forcing the population to restart evolution after they experience a long period of rainfall, leading to worse traits than in populations exposed only to drought. As a result, one population may benefit from environmental shifts while another is held back by them. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? No, nothing weird in the chats. No, the chats are all good. Okay, we continue. Senior author Melissa Pespenny, a biology professor, not officer, but professor, at UVM, says the study scale made these insights possible. What's exciting about this study is that we replayed evolution hundreds of times. This gave us a bird's eye view of how evolution played out across many different environments, something that would be impossible to test in the lab. One major conclusion stood out. The biggest takeaway for me is that starting point really matters. A population's history shapes how high it can climb and how hard the path is to get there, which means we can't assume one population represents an entire species. Okay, that's, Okay, we sipped. The results have important implications for real-world problems. Scientists need to know whether plants and animals can adapt quickly enough to survive accelerating climate change. At the same time, bacteria continually evolve resistance to antibiotics and posing a growing threat to human health. Despite this complexity, research often focuses on just one population under one type of environmental stress. Broad conclusions are then drawn about how a species will respond to change. Patak argues that this approach can be misleading. Computational models like ours can be used to formulate new hypotheses about real biological populations. In their simulations, the researchers created artificial organisms and exposed them to a wide range of shifting conditions. These digital environments reflected natural patterns such as temperature cycles and alternating periods of drought and rainfall. What is new in our work, Patak explains, is that instead of studying evolution in just one variable environment, we created 105 different variable environments. This allowed us to systematically compare how populations evolve across many distinct scenarios. The findings also extend beyond biology and may help inform research in artificial intelligence. Like I said, AI can definitely be very helpful in the field of science, like I said, like in space exploration and all that fun stuff. Many AI systems struggle to learn new tasks without losing skills they already acquired. Co-author and UVM computer scientist Nick Cheney. Why do I always have a bad connotation with this last name? But okay, see strong parallels with this challenge and evolutionary dynamics. AI systems have traditionally been built narrowly around solving one specific question, Cheney says. Newer approaches aim to build systems that keep learning over time, a growing field known as online continual learning, he adds. Beautifully mirror the ideas explored in this paper around evolution, around how evolution, learning, and development engage with and benefit from variable and dynamic environments. Okay, that was a lot of word sauce. So, sippy sip sip. Let's continue. For Frati, the broader message applies to learning systems of all kinds. My research is about meta-learning, the capability of systems to learn. Just as an AI cannot be evaluated based on a single task, evolution cannot be fully understood by studying one environment alone. The study highlights the importance of testing systems across many comparable but distinct conditions when evaluating evolvability, which Frati describes as the ability of a system to evolve to evolve. That makes all the sense, of course. Makes all the sense. At its core, the research shows that evolution is shaped not just by change itself, but by the order, type, and history of those changes. As Patak puts it, our results show that the choice of variable environment can strongly influence the outcome. So yeah, this was a whole lots of word sauce about evolution, and evolution isn't just shaped by change, but it's mostly shaped by which changes come first and how often do they strike. Okay? Word sauce. Awesome. That was good word sauce. But again, we have Voldemort. It's fine. We've got Voldemort. I need to do a side by side. Let's see if I can. Give me 2 seconds for a quick Photoshop. Quick Photoshop. Okay, so quick Photoshop. We need a new file, a quick custom file in a 4K format, because usually I do everything in 4K. And then we go here, and we grab copy, and we do paste. Terrible quality. It's fine. It didn't need to be like the perfect best quality ever. So whip. Let me whip up. I drank too much whiskey recently. It's fine. And I just want Harry out of the way. We don't need Harry. We just need Voldemort. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah. It's so Voldy. It is so Voldy. Okay. Almost done, guys. Almost done. So, save a copy as a JPEG. And actually also as a JPEG. Alright, so let's see if we can. Oh, no, this is too funny. Oh, I like this. I like this too much. Okay, let's see. Can we, No, that's just Streamlabs, fun. Nope. Okay, so I need a share a specific window. Yeah. Add source. We already had a window capture, so that doesn't work. No. Okay, go away. We already have a window capture. How do I do this? How do I do this correctly? Correctly! Oh, we can do it like this. No, I didn't want to use... Why would I use that? No. Nope, you're not helping. Okay, so I want a specific image. I want an image. Add source. Add a new source instead. Image. Add source. Browse. Perfect. Yes. Okay, see, we can do, guys, we can do this. All right. This is not going well. It's fine. It's fine. You can see here. My brain is not braining. It's fine. We'll make it work, okay? So this, see? It has to go above the other one. Okay, so for the people on TikTok, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to keep you outside of like the fun, but it's coming. It's almost there. I'm resizing. Okay, look, it's Voldemort. It's Voldemort. Look at it. Right? It's so Voldy. It has the same nose, ears. It's perfect. So yeah, there we have Voldy. So yeah, this took me 2 seconds to Photoshop. This is honestly my laziest Photoshop of the year. And the year just started. And probably this will continue to be the laziest Photoshop of this year. Because normally I take a little bit longer for anything I do in Photoshop. But yeah. The statue is hair. Where? I don't see it. I don't see hair. Nah. It's just Voldemort. Okay, so we saw Voldemort pretty darn close, right? Right? Okay, so. Be gone, Voldy. Alright. Next one. We have, does this fossil point to the discovery of a new human ancestor? Good. It might. How does that look? Ah, that's good. That's good. You can still see my face. Something that, I mean, I don't understand why y'all want that, but I mean, apparently you do. So here, have a face. I don't know why you would want that, but okay. Does this fossil, this thingamajiggy here, does this fossil point to the discovery of a new human ancestor? Australian researchers believe the skeleton found in South Africa is not the same species as 2 others found in the same cave system. This challenges... Now, this does not seem like an AI image. That's why I didn't get mad. And this also doesn't look like Voldy. I know. I'm sorry. My apologies. This challenges all theories about our ancestor. The discovery could point to a new, as of yet unknown, species of human ancestor. Without finding the hand, how do they know it's pointing towards anything? Checkmate, atheists. Exactly. Checkmate. Littlefoot, first unveiled in 2017, is the most complete Australopithecine skeleton ever found. The foot bones that give the fossil its name were first discovered in South Africa in 1994, prompting a painstaking excavation process lasting over 20 years in the Sterkfontein cave system in South Africa. Oh, that was a good sippy sip. Professor Ronald Clark, also this is just SodaStream Pepsi. That's it. It's just SodaStream Pepsi. Some people think I always drink alcohol. I do not. I have a liver that likes to function properly. So no, I'm just, drinking SodaStream Pepsi, which means that it's Pepsi without sugar, no carbs, and no bullshit. And it's just fizzy water with a taste. That's it. But okay. Professor Ronald Clark, a paleoanthropologist at the University of the Witwatersrand and leader of the team that excavated the skeleton, attributed Littlefoot to the species Australopithecus prometheus. Others believed it was Australopithecus africanus, a species first described in 1925 and previously found in the same cave system. Australopithecus, meaning southern ape, was a group of hominids that lived in Africa as early as 4.2 million years ago. Okay. Got that? Got that. But a new study led by Australian researchers published in the American Journal of Biological Anthropology has shown that Littlefoot's features differ from those of both species, raising a third possibility. We believe it is a previously unknown, unstudied species of human ancestor, said Dr. Jesse Martin, an adjunct professor at La Trobe University in Melbourne, who led the research. It doesn't look like Australopithecus prometheus, but it also doesn't look like any of the Africanus species that come from Sterkfontein. High fructose corn syrup. It tastes exactly like Pepsi. It's just sugar-free and caffeine-free. Because I don't like caffeine and I don't like sugar. It's fine. But I can't do the whole aspartame bullshit because I get migraines from that. It's like my biggest migraine trigger, so I don't drink any of that. All right, back to here. Martin, also a postdoctoral researcher at the university. For the people who are actually named Martin and who just heard me say Martin, sorry, apologies. Didn't mean to cuss you out as well. Sorry. But yeah, Martin, also a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Cambridge, told the Daily Mail, this object is part of a hominin lineage, so it's possible we haven't just discovered a point in our human family tree, but a complete branch of that family tree. The researchers identified key differences between Littlefoot and Australopithecus africanus, including a longer nuchal plane, which is an area at the back of the skull. Okay. The base of the skull is thought to have remained relatively stable throughout human evolution, meaning it doesn't change very rapidly, Martin said. If you find differences between components at the base of the skull, those differences are more likely to represent different species because they don't change very rapidly in evolutionary terms. All the differences we found are in that area. Whether they've discovered a new kind of ancestor remains to be seen. More research is needed, but it's certainly an interesting avenue to explore. Okay. Could they get its ancient DNA? Probably not, because it's probably way too old, even for ancient DNA. So, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this continues. And then we have this generated AI image. Why would you even credit that as credit generated AI image? Why? Okay. Breathe. I'm back. Ancient hunter-gatherer DNA may explain why some people live to 100 years or more. Okay. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors have given us many things. They passed down mastery of fire for cooking and early survival technologies, such as stone tools. But they may have also given us the secret to a long life. A new study published in the journal Geroscience found that Italian centenarians carry a higher proportion of genetic material from Western hunter-gatherers, the WHG, compared to the general population. It has been known for some time that longevity can be explained by good genes. Good genes, as well as by other factors such as our environment and daily habits. Some studies have found individual genes linked to longer life, while others suggest that ancestral DNA may play a role. Okay. I didn't go full on out on the generated AI image this time. I already had one rant. I'm trying to keep it at just one rant. Okay? I'm taking all my strength. Analyzing centenarian DNA. Italy has one of the highest concentrations in the world of people living to 100 or more. To help understand why, researchers analyzed the genomes of 333 centenarians and 690 healthy adults controls aged around 50. My lamp already ended, stopped. I hate you. I bought you. I have 3 of you. I have 3 of the same lights. And this one constantly just turns off after less than an hour. I don't know why. I bought you the same day. You came from the same factory. Why are you evolving into a nitwit while the rest is functioning perfect? I'm talking to a lamp here. Holy fucking shit. It's fine. Okay, so we have 333 centenarians and 690 healthy adults, adult controls aged around 50. They compared the DNA of these individuals with 103 ancient genomes of the 4 groups that make up the modern Italian gene pool. All right, we all got that? We all got that. These are Western hunter-gatherers who were among the original inhabitants of Europe after the Ice Age, the Anatolian Neolithic farmers, Bronze Age nomadic groups, and ancient groups from the Iranian and Caucasus regions. The results revealed that those who reached the age of 100 tended to have more Western hunter-gatherer DNA than the average person. The present study shows for the first time that the Villabruna cluster, the WHG lineage, contributes to longevity in the Italian population, wrote the research team. Awesome. While everyone in the study carried a mix of DNA from all 4 of these ancient groups, the 4 groups being Western hunter-gatherers, Anatolian Neolithic farmers, Bronze Age nomadic groups, and ancient groups from the Iranian and Caucasus regions. Okay, yeah, those were the 4. Okay, perfect. But only the Western hunter-gatherers' genetic material was linked to longevity. In fact, for every small increase in hunter-gatherer DNA, a person's odds of becoming a centenarian rose by 38%. This was for the people that have no clue how percentages work. So if it was 2% in the past and it increases by 38%, that doesn't mean that it's now 38% likelihood. That means that it's a 38% increase of the original 2% that it was. Math. Hate it. My boyfriend loves it. Don't ask me why. I don't understand the dude. He's awesome, but I do not understand why he likes math. But okay. This was even more powerful in women, who were more than twice as likely to reach 100 if they had a higher proportion of this ancient DNA. We propose that the variants involved in this trait, longevity, may have been introduced into the Italian gene pool at a very ancient time, said the researchers. The team also has a theory as to how Western hunter-gatherer genes may help people live to a ripe old age. They suggest that these variants were selected during the last ice age, when our ancestors had to survive extremely harsh conditions with limited food resources. The scientists believe that these genes helped improve metabolism to process food more efficiently and strengthen the immune system to protect the body from age-related stresses. Honestly, can't be me, because yeah. No. It's bad. It's bad. I can see that there was a Litmister that wanted me to pick a number in the Twitch chat between 1 and 1,000. I was reading the article, and so I understand that I missed my chance, but I was reading the article, so I couldn't have stopped reading the article out of the blue. I don't do that. So, yeah, sorry. Yeah. Let me, for a sec, do this. Let's see if we can turn on that light again. Turn on the light again. Okay. Awesome. We have done the thing. with at least the discoveries that I picked out. We also have the merch still here. It's awesome merch, like I told you. I'm wearing it. It's got the logo on the front. It's got the T-pillar on the sleeves. It's really great quality cotton. And I like cotton. It's not stretchy like most cheap clothes are. And of course the Touch-to-Pillar map on the back with the current 12 accepted locations of the Touch-to-Pillar sites in Turkey. Most of them will be visited during the Turkey tour, and that's here. All of this is in the description of the video. If you want to pick anything out, you can go to thecommunitygarden.org for the Turkey tour. This will happen in September. The official date is yet to be announced. That will happen later this month. And it's quite an announcement because I'm not the only one co-hosting this tour. But I can't tell you anything at this point in time. So, yeah. That was a little sprinkle of a scoop, but not a full scoop. This ain't ice cream, okay? We don't do full scoops here. So we have the merch. Guys, the merch is awesome. This is awesome. Get yourself some awesome looking merch. Everything is 100% cotton. Or, at the very least, 90 or 99% cotton or 50% cotton, but it's only for certain colors. Because otherwise you can't create that color in this day and age. So, okay? Okay. Let's see. Well, do we have anything else that's like fun stuff? I also highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, this book, Epic Earth by Lindsay Nicole. It's awesome. Highly recommend grabbing it. Highly, highly recommend grabbing it. I mean, Lindsay Nicole is awesome. So, grab yourself this book. She's selling it at like numerous locations, but you can just Google Epic Earth Lindsay Nicole. You'll find this book. Highly recommend. And hopefully Raven's book is back on shelves soon as well. Her publisher quit, and so she's looking for a new publisher, and I think that she found one, something like that. But yeah, hopefully on the shelves back soon, very soon. Happy New Year to you too, Canon Wright. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's really, really very kind of you. So yeah. The colors for the t-shirts, I don't have turquoise. We usually have like darker colors. So we have blue, we have burgundy, we have black, brown, green, this reddish tint. And I think for the Doggerland, we've got the same, same colors. Like the green, the red, the purple, the brown, the black, the blue, and the burgundy. Yeah. And of course, what I'm currently wearing, the T-pillar unisex sweatshirt. Again, with the map on the back. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Do we want to see Voldemort again? I feel like we do. Yeah, we do. We want to see Voldemort again. We definitely feel like we need to see Voldemort again. Yeah. Here. I have to resize it because I completely clicked off earlier and I'm an idiot and it's fine. Don't have high expectations of me, okay? Ever. I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. And if I'm not an idiot, I'm a bigger idiot. Okay? Huh? Okay. Good. Good talk, people. Good talk. Good talk. So, here. Voldemort. He's a Voldemort. Yeah, so this Voldemort is like, yeah. Come on, it's so him. You can't tell me it's not Voldemort. Come on. Now I need to like, oh my god. I have to probably create new merch now with like Voldemort at Tepe. Oh, it's so bad. All right. Do we have anything other fun? Anyone has like, does anyone here have a fun question? Preferably having to do with like history or this next year stuff, things like that. But like no personal question, no private life, unless it's like about my condition, ankylosing spondylitis, then go ham. But if it's not about that, then no, don't. Just don't. But yeah, I would. I don't mind like answering some fun questions, or I don't know, hang out in a different way. I'm thinking about like what we can do. I did not want to stream today, like as in gaming. Just didn't feel like it. Clea, have you thought about collabing with Tasting History? I would love to collab with Tasting History. I would love it if he's like cooking me an awesome dish from like ancient times. I would love that. I follow him for, I've been following him for quite a while, and I follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he knows I exist, but I sure know that he exists, and his content is awesome. So yeah, I would love that. If he is open to doing that, if y'all can like ask him, please. Do you have favorite legends? I like the Witte Wieven from the Netherlands. So the white ladies, the white witches. Yeah, I like those legends, especially because that's one of the Dutch legends and like myths and legends that we have. Very much like that. What else do we have? I recently heard all cats basically come from Egypt. What do you think of that? No, that's not true. I can already say that's not true. We had like cats in, I think it was Cyprus 9,000 years ago that were already domesticated. So, yeah. And they, again, domesticated themselves. Mammoth steak. I would love that. I would actually probably very much enjoy mammoth steak. Yeah. I definitely also like to eat deer. Yeah. Mm. What is our earliest remnants of a rope date to? Okay. Oldest rope ever discovered. Oh, I love my keyboard. Everyone hates my keyboard. The oldest rope ever discovered is a tiny 50,000-year-old 3-ply cord made from conifer bark fibers found at the Neanderthal site of Abri-du-Maras in France. Oh, hot damn! It's old! You want to see? Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see? Okay, here. That was not what I wanted to do. Ah, there we go. There we go. This piece of rope, 50,000-year-old. Whoo, awesome. Yelperman. A few years ago, Lee Berger described a population of Homo heidelbergensis where they were huge, around 7 inches. Have you covered this? No, but did he? Lee Berger heidelbergensis 7 foot. I'm not sure if I'm happy with this though. Oh, I accidentally grabbed that. 7 feet. Yeah, fit. Because I did fit. FT. So fit. So yeah, Dawn's maps. Where is this the only? Wait, is this? We have Dawn's maps here. The Naked Scientist from 2007. I've run into certain non-academic sources that say Homo heidelbergensis could have reached 7 feet tall in some populations. Yeah, I've heard of it. I didn't... I'm not sure how happy I am with this though. Like, of course, like 2 meters in height, it's not insanely tall. It is taller than the average, like quite a bit taller than the average. I know quite some people that are actually of that height, but I'm not happy if he actually said that. So, no, I haven't covered it. I have made a video on Homo heidelbergensis in the past, and I'm not sure if I even mentioned that some people think they're giants. I mostly done that with the Denisovans because there's so many people making all of these bold claims about the Denisovans, and it's very tiring. All right, so I saw a question. When you gonna do more the Bronze Age videos? I've never really done much Bronze Age videos, so I'm not sure if that will happen very soon. I prefer Stone Age over Bronze Age because Stone Age to me is just way more interesting. I'd love to see anything about the prehistory of Menorca and the other Balearic Islands. They have loads of megalithic monuments that haven't been described much. I would love to cover them, but I think it's very important to go there, actually. Oh, fun, nice. Oh my god. Okay, so my brother-in-law's watching. Hi. You're a dick. But no, that's fine. Is there evidence of human evolution making sudden jumps? Not that I'm aware of. Not like sudden. Like, what do you think is a sudden jump? Is that like a very short time span? Then probably no, because evolution takes a long time. You know. What was the most difficult part of your academic journey during your advanced education? I don't have an academic journey or advanced education because I'm a high school dropout and I'm an amateur in all the ways of you could actually be an amateur. So no academic credentials whatsoever. I'm not an archaeologist, never gone to university, nothing like that. It's just me. I just like history. So yeah. So I don't know what the most difficult part of that was because it's non-existent. For the duration that you've been doing this, which year of discoveries and discussions has been your favorite? Good question. Probably 2021 or 2022, because those were the years that I grew exponentially on the platform of YouTube, but also I feel like we had some of the best discoveries during that time. Honestly. We had the Nesher Ramla Homo from Israel or Palestine or the Levant area, if you want to name it that. I thought that was very incredible that we found that, but also we discovered that humans arrived in Europe, like Homo sapiens arrived in Europe 10,000 years earlier than previously thought. So instead of us arriving around 40,000 years ago, we apparently arrived around 50,000 years ago, and we lived together with the Neanderthals for at least 15,000 years before the Neanderthals disappeared. So a lot more time for intermingling, you know? And I think that's awesome. But yeah, that, I think. I think 2021 and 2022, those were my personal favorite years for discoveries. What do we have? Mechanical keyboard complements Kaylee's vocal cadence. Oh, so nice. Do you have anything like the Loch Ness Monster in the Netherlands with all those waterways and all? Not really. I mean, I used to dream when I was like really young. I think I was about 6 years old. I used to dream about this massive shark in the small canal behind my school. There was like a small bridge that you had to cross to get to my dad's house from my mom's house, and like it was next to school, and you couldn't cross the bridge after 7 p.m. in the evening. And I stood there in the middle of the bridge at 7 p.m. in the evening in my dream, and that shark came, and its teeth were like massive, and it just ate me up, and I woke up, and it was a recurring nightmare for about 3 or 4 months in a row, every single night, the same nightmare, couldn't change anything. And then my sister told me, but you can actually control your dreams. Just, pinch yourself in the arm, notice that you're dreaming, and just change, do something else, or like make the shark small. And somehow I learned to control my dreams because of that, and never had that nightmare again until like a year ago. And suddenly it was there, and I was like, oh hey, this is actually fun. This is like a Jaws horror movie. Because I'm no longer 7 years old and terrified of it. So that was cool. But yeah, no, we don't have monsters like the Loch Ness Monster in the Netherlands. We don't. The oldest archaeological site in the United States is a topic of ongoing research. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. But strong contenders for earliest human presence include Meadowcroft Rock Shelter in Pennsylvania. Yeah, I haven't made a video like covering it fully, but I have mentioned it in a couple of my videos by now, and I definitely want to cover it. I just need to have someone in the area of Pennsylvania go in there with proper camera equipment, like at the very least a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 or something like that, and make me footage that I can use for video. Okay. Would be lovely. And then I can make my video on Meadowcroft Rock Shelter, because if I look at like the pictures that are available on the internet at this point in time, they're terrible quality. Also, my brother-in-law felt called out because, I called him out for watching. But no, it's fine. We're gonna watch the darts finale for the championships, like the world championships tomorrow. And that's gonna be awesome. So, it'll be fine. What else do we have? Oh, wow. We flew. They might be giants. I don't think Heidelbergensis were giants. I don't see it necessarily. I've made quite a couple videos on Heidelbergensis, or Heidelbergensis, as I prefer to call them. But I haven't really seen any evidence of them being 7 feet tall on average. We have outliers that are that tall, and I think almost all species had tall outliers as well as small outliers. I don't know, I think it's weird. Yeah, Milo Rossi. I'll try to connect with him again, but like I can message him, but getting a response is usually the more of the difficult thing when it comes to Mini Minuteman, because he's a very busy dude. So I'll probably have to like email and WhatsApp and Instagram and just do the whole shebang. But I would love to have some proper footage of Meadowcroft Rock Shelter, because it's very intriguing. But the visuals online, like I can show. It's an incredible human settlement. This is one of the best pictures that, you can find. Look at this. 864 by 517. I make 4K videos. I make 4K. Even this is blurry as fudge. This might be usable, but like, what are we seeing here? Mostly just people doing their thing, and almost nothing of the settlement. Tourists, but it's already a grainy picture. So that's, if I blow that up to like 4K, it's completely unusable. This, completely unusable. I hate it. This, completely unusable. And that makes it very, very, this, 330 by 440, it's useless. So I would love to create a video on Meadowcroft Rock Shelter. I think it's one of the most fascinating places in the entirety of the Americas, just as the gold site. I made a video on the gold site, and we still don't have the film that they were working on, the documentary movie. Still don't have that, so I want to do a follow-up to my old gold site video. I have the book, Secrets in the Dirt. I have the book about the gold site. I just want the movie to be there so that I can use clips from the movie to show you, all of you, how amazing that site is, to make you more aware of the fact that it does exist. It's 20,000 years old. It is contested by some, but honestly, it's the best contender when it comes to the oldest human settlement in the Americas. So yeah, but I need visuals. I can't make a 20-minute video with just my face in it and like 2 blurry visuals. It doesn't work like that. No one wants to watch that. Like, this is me just talking. This is just a chill stream. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. Okay, so go to Menorca off season. Menorca is quite expensive as a whole, like as a place. And I don't have the funds or the travel time for that in the next year at least. So maybe in 2027. But why is Balkan area mostly ignored? I do not ignore the Balkan area. I have made videos on the Balkan area. Why is it mostly ignored? It's funding. It all has to do everything has to do with funding. And I think it's more difficult for them to get the funding right. Oh, sorry, we had some TikTok. Whoa, the TikTok suddenly was awake. I'm sorry. Let's do this for a sec. What do you think about the latest discovery at? I think you mean Gobekli Tepe, about civilization happening before agriculture. Gobekli Tepe is like a pre-civilization hunter-gatherer creation, just like all the Tashtepeller sites that are on my shirt and the T-pillar and everything. So it's pre-pottery Neolithic, but also pre-civilization. It's the last step before we entered civilization. Agriculture started like within 1,000 years or so after Gobekli Tepe was abandoned. So make of that what you will. Is it possible that myth and fairy tales of trolls are actually about the Neanderthals? In a way, yeah, it's possible. It's not impossible. There's a plausibility in there. But the Neanderthals did disappear around 32,000 years ago, so then those tales would have been shared for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And with the telephone game, we know that a lot of things change. So when it comes to like dragons and all that stuff, do I sometimes feel like back in ancient times or back in the day, even in medieval times or whatever, people came across like the skeleton of a dinosaur and so they thought it was a dragon? It's possible. That's something I actually kind of sort of believe in. Your thoughts of North American population? I'm thinking 30,000, 40,000 years ago. Your opinion? Well, we have evidence through the White Sands, New Mexico footprints, the fossilized footprints, that humans were there at least 23,000 years ago. And there's a possibility that that's even older. So humans must have been there since at least 30,000 years ago, in my personal opinion. But I mean, I don't have evidence for that. So yeah, sucks to be me. All right. What else do we have? Any other questions? I have Cottonwood Slim. Did you really say that Stefan Milo has a video about a very early site in Oregon? When I created 2 videos on the same very old site of Oregon. Cottonwood, how dare you? How dare you? Bad person. All right, when's your next duo with Raven? Probably soon, honestly. Yeah, we've been looking at doing something together again, but we've both just been a little bit too busy. Just a little bit too busy. So, and this year is going to be busy for everyone as well. So, we'll see. Hopefully soon, because we had so much fun doing that first collaboration. So I do think that we will do that again. What are your thoughts on the aquatic ape theory? I still haven't looked into the aquatic ape theory. Maybe one day. But for right now, not yet. Not yet. There's a lot of weird stuff connected to the aquatic ape theory that I'm not necessarily sure I want to dive into at this point in time. So, yeah. Let's see. Anything? Any other fun questions? Research papers on the site should have better images, right? That's so often I make my videos and I very, very often get the comment of people complaining about the lack of visuals in my videos. And I'm like, do you really want to look at a 360p image blasted on a 4K screen and you barely have any clue of what you're looking at? Because that's usually the quality of images connected with research papers and stuff. So yeah, it's terrible. Terrible quality images. And I can't put that in my videos and pretend that it's okay, because it's simply not okay. I'm not okay by using that sort of quality in my videos. Whenever I make a video, I want to make that video of the highest quality as I possibly can. And that often results in just me talking to the camera and explaining things to you without showing you anything, because there's nothing to show. And that sucks. Sorry. I don't like it myself, but you know, it is what it is. Do we have anything here? Nope. Sarah says, I live by Meadowcroft. I can go and take video and pics if you need. Yes, please. And you can send them to historywithkaylee@gmail.com. Have I ever been to North America? I actually have. I've been to Florida in December of 2024. I was very used to saying last December, but last December was like a couple days ago. So doesn't count anymore. So yeah, I was in Florida for about 3 days in December of 2024, and I loved it. And that was right before the inauguration and everything changed. So that's probably why I loved it. So yeah. What are they? Whatever. Is the term behaviorally modern humans still used? And what were behaviorally unmodern humans like? I'm not familiar with that term, honestly. So, no idea. Oh, but like I still have the videos on Oregon. I've got 2 of them, and they were very good. Are we gonna get mad at AI images again? Oh no, I don't. I only have Voldy here. I only have Voldy here. So yeah, no. We shall see. What else do we have? What do you think about the new evidence about Eastern Asian populations in South America? Do we have new information, new evidence about that? Or is it just the genetic evidence? Because I know that there's some genetic evidence, but just because there's genetic evidence doesn't mean that we have the full evidence of how they got there. And we need like all the parts of the story. So, not sure. I have to look into that, honestly, Victor. Let me get back to that in about couple months. In a couple months. I will look into it and see if I can make a video on that. All right. Genetic yeah. I thought it was going to be genetic evidence. Yeah. So I have heard of that in the past few years. I'm actually planning to make a video on that subject in the very near future. So like I said, I'm gonna get back to you with that in a video, full-on video, and then, a couple months from now. Is there a big difference between Neanderthal cave paintings and ours? So that's a very good question. Neanderthal cave painting. I know that there's one or two from like Spain. It's like this. Let me window capture this. So there are some thought to be Neanderthal cave paintings. There's not 100% full-on acceptance that these were created by Neanderthals. It's just that looking at the dates, I think these paintings date back to about 54,000 years ago. Humans, Homo sapiens, weren't yet in the area. So therefore we think these might be created by Neanderthals. But these are kind of, sort of, possibly the oldest and only ones. There's a lot of images online that say they are Neanderthal cave paintings. I know this one. This from Spain. That one I know. But besides that, I'm not sure. So, let me grab the TikTok chat back as well. The stuff Victor has been seeing, they say 2 different groups invaded South America at 2 different times. Well, invaded is already a little bit of a... They arrived there, probably, instead of like invaded, because like an invasion is taking over everything, and I don't think that necessarily happened. There is genetic evidence of people from Southeast Asia and East Asia populating the Americas. Yes, just like Denisovan DNA is found in people in South America, I think, and in the Native Americans as well. So, yeah. You're saying the second group replacing the first. Well, then possibly invasion, but like I said, I haven't looked into it. I cannot say too much about it because I haven't looked into it. And I usually don't talk about things that I'm not knowledgeable about. I think that's weird. So yeah. So on the big difference between Neanderthal cave paintings and ours, if it's discovered that Homo sapiens were in this area of this particular cave around the time that these cave paintings were made, then no one will even for a moment or a second think of Neanderthals being the ones who created this. So it all depends on, are we going to find any Homo sapiens evidence near this cave dating back this far as these cave paintings? Can you trick your sister into naming her next discovery after you? I would love it if that was possible, but her field is so different from mine, and I don't think she's ever been able to like name anything yet, as of this point in time. So, but you know, possibly, it's possible. I can at least be a little sister and like blink cutesy or so. I don't know. What are your top bucket list historical places to visit that you have not been to yet? Machu Picchu, Ollantaytambo, Sacsayhuaman, Pisac, and I'm going to see all of that in February when I'm going to Peru. So, absolutely, those are my bucket list items that are currently on the top of my list, and I will be seeing them next month. Holy hell. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Oh no, Tammy Cats. You just got home from the hospital with a broken wrist. I'm so sorry. I hope you heal soon and well. And hopefully it doesn't hurt too much. And take your painkillers, please. Take all the rest you need also. Please. 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 If you could go back in time and meet a member of any one extinct human species, which one would you choose? You can communicate with them to the extent any member of their own species can with them. It's always a going back in time question. I personally would never, ever want to go back in time. Just to preface. Honestly. Never, ever want to go back in time. But for the sake of the question, I'll look into it. And I would probably want to go back to either Homo floresiensis on the Indonesian island of Flores, or Neanderthals. And then probably Neanderthals around like 60,000 years ago, because I think they are very, very intriguing around that time. With like right before they started making the first bone flutes and all that stuff. So, yeah. And a joke for the anime fans. Are saber-toothed cat girls called Neanderthals? Yes, they are. They absolutely are. Neanderthals. I think the fact that recently found human activity on islands around Sundaland, approximately 140,000 BCE, can only be reached by boat, shows that travel across the Pacific wasn't impossible back then. Well, honestly, the 140,000-year-old Homo erectus fossils that were found in Indonesia was probably smack dab in the middle of Sundaland, the land mass back then. So they would have been able to just simply walk there. So no, it does not yet show only to be reached by boat and therefore travel across the Pacific at that point in time. No, not yet. Absolutely not, because they were able to just walk there. Only Flores was outside of like Sundaland and even Sumatra. Let's see. We can do this image thing again. I can just grab a different image. Videos, fact, fiction, Sundaland. Let's grab one of the pictures I used. Let's grab this one. Done. And then show. Here, Sundaland. Everything that's the lighter color blue, that was land back then. So I can do another image. I'm not sure if I can actually do another image, but we can at least try. Add a new source instead. Image 1. And use this one. Bam. So like I said, oh, sorry for the TikTok people. I'm sorry. Okay, so here we have, wow, that was weird. Okay, it's fine. Not too many technical mishaps yet today. Not too bad. Let's change this to a little bit smaller so that people on the bigger screen can see it as well. And then this Sundaland image. So you have this image, this lighter colored. I created this one to show what Sundaland may have looked like back then. But if you look at modern times, you can see that these are just the islands, and in between now that there's water. But back then, that would have been land. So the fossils of Homo erectus that were found between Java and I think the Madura Strait it was, that was absolutely above water and part of Sundaland. So, I'm sorry. Didn't want to burst any bubbles, but yeah, that's just the way it is, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Let's get rid of the images. We got Voldemort again. It's fine. I'll put it back on the merch. Will you stream from Peru? Probably not stream, But what I did in Turkey last time I was there, it was me filming on location and then making short 1, 2, 3 minute videos of those of the footage that I created while I was there. I think I'll do that from Peru as well. And I'll try and film as much as I can for future videos on the channel, because I don't think I'll ever get the chance of going back to Peru, like ever again. And I'm very happy to even go there this time. Super late, but wanted to drop in and say Happy New Year, everyone. Yes, Happy New Year to Megalith Hunter, my good friend Laura from Malta. I love her. I will always love her. Which megafauna would you go back to see? Saber-toothed cats, saber-toothed tigers. Probably from a very, 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 very big distance. But I would not, again, I would never ever want to travel back in time. If I can send a camera back in time and just make footage of whatever back in a certain place or a certain time, I would do that. But I would never ever want to go and travel back in time myself. I don't think it's a good idea to even do that. No. Besides the obvious mammoth, T-Rex, dodo, etc., what extinct animal do you most want to eat and why? Good question. Good question. I'm thinking. Besides the obvious. That's a hard one. You know what? You know what? I think I would like to eat an ankylosaurus. Just for shits and giggles. You heard it here first. I think I want to eat an ankylosaurus. Yeah. But the islands in question could only be reached by sea. No, they could not. That's why I'm showing you this. This is Asia, and you can just walk there. 140,000 years ago, this was land. Absolutely land. So it was not just reached by sea. I think Michael Button either said it wrong, or maybe you misunderstood him, because this I've researched Sunda land fully recently, and I know that they were able to just walk there. So definitely walked there, and nothing else. Sorry. It was not only able to be reached by sea. I'm sorry. Does anyone here play the Isle? I do not, but maybe someone else does. What did I miss? You had to fix a hot cup of cider. Cider is good. Cider is amazing. Love that. What else do we have? Why won't you get back to Peru? Because it's very expensive. Very, very expensive to fly from the Netherlands to Peru. And, you know, the whole staying there and all that stuff. So it's not easy. Have you heard of Nanotyrannus? Yes, I have heard of Nanotyrannus rex. And, yeah, that it's not a T-Rex, but that it's its own separate species, and it's not just a juvenile T-Rex. I have heard about it, yeah. Anki steak, yes. What else do we... Oh, that was not a question. Oh, we lost the TikTok chat here. Okay. Hello, friend. Hello, Mike. Hello. Always happy to see you. What are your thoughts of reviving prehistoric animals like the mammoth and the dire wolves? Well, I have made a video on the dire wolves that were not really dire wolves because, you know, they were just genetically modified wolves and not dire wolves, but I digress. I don't necessarily think that we need to bring species back that went extinct that long ago. The Tasmanian tiger, however, in my personal opinion, the Tasmanian tiger disappeared or went extinct around 100 years ago, and the climate hasn't changed that much in the past 100 years. So if we were to bring one species back, and I would fully endorse it, it would be the Tasmanian tiger, because I personally feel like that would be the only animal that went extinct because of humans that would still be able to survive the modern climate. I don't think mammoths would be able to survive in this modern climate because the climate has changed so freaking much since the mammoths went extinct. And the mammoths went extinct partially because of that climate change. And it only got hotter instead of colder. So I don't think that they would be able to survive in this day and age. It's too hot for mammoths. I agree. Yes, Mike. I absolutely agree. Hi, on Twitch. Hello. So yeah. What's your favorite dinosaur? Land dinosaur, Ankylosaurus. And if we're talking about like a sort of dinosaur that sort of flies, Archaeopteryx. So yeah, those are my two definite favorite dinosaurs. So yeah, you had to go to three different platforms to find me. Oh my god! Oh, it was just YouTube. It's ClockTube here. I'm doing the stream everywhere. You know, it's whatever is convenient to someone. You can just find me either on the TikToks, on the tubes, or on the tweets. Time travel could introduce biological contaminants, viruses, both to the visitors and the host. Yeah, exactly. That as well. Plus, like, my body ain't that healthy. Why would I ever want to do a time travel? Let's just not. I've got ankylosing spondylitis. Let's keep me in modern times with my modern medication. Okay? Okay, good idea. All right. What do we have? Any fun questions? Whatever. Why resurrect the dire wolves when the megafauna they hunted went extinct? Exactly. It makes no sense to try and bring back a species that has no way to survive in these modern times. What's my favorite pterosaur? Pterosaur. I have to like make sure that. Ooh, isn't an Archaeopteryx one of those? Not? Maybe not. Oh yeah, the Quetzalcoatl. That one was awesome with massive wingspan. But yeah, well then I'll just do the Quetzalcoatl because it's so massive. Massive. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, no, absolutely that. Absolutely that. They're not really direwolves. No, they're not. And I made a video on the whole controversy of the direwolf. Let me, YouTube's, let me find my channel. I have a channel, yes, is here. View your channel. I'm gonna talk. Oh no, I'm not talking. Awesome. Good that it's there. Because normally I start talking and it's very annoying when I hear my own voice. It's not my favorite thing in the world. Here. Returned from extinction or not, and I was very clear that it's just a genetically modified grey wolf, and they made the coat look white. That's it. And if you look at like actual dire wolves from back in the day, most of them were not white like in Game of Thrones because white would make them stand out in a forest grassland environment, which is very bad if you want to hunt animals. So they probably weren't white, they were just, like all wolves, regularly colored, a variety of different colors in their coat, and not white. Definitely. Yeah, the Archaeopteryx was a theropod dinosaur. Yeah. You guys are right. You guys are right. Sorry. My apologies. I wasn't sure. Birds are dinosaurs. Yeah. We're all eating dinosaurs when you eat chicken. Just the way it is. Time travel is a hypothetical. Sheesh. Yeah, I know, but everyone always asks me about time travel, and I'm like, I don't think I ever want to do that. Nah. It's not me. It's not my thing. Effort in bringing back extinct species should be utilized in not letting them go extinct in the first place. Yeah, I agree. And I fully agree with that opinion. Absolutely. Yeah, the only thing dire about the resurrected dire wolves is the immense lie that they're dire wolves and not just wolves changed to look weird. Absolutely agree. Yeah. Some odd dino species could have had feathers. Yes, that's indeed correct. I don't like to time travel either. The traffic is crazy and the tolls are outrageous. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Given the areas they hunted in, the direwolves likely had a coat not unlike coyotes. Yeah, a variety of colors. Probably a lot of red tints, orange tints, brown tints, black tints. Without a doubt, yeah. Is it about 3 years old? What? I'm not sure if about Mike. I'm not familiar with Michael Button's video, but I made my video on the Homo erectus fossils earlier this year. Yeah, here, 7 months ago. 140,000-year-old Homo erectus fossils found in Indonesia. Great. And I just heard that the semi-final of the darts game, where the Dutch guy, Gian van Veen, is playing, is starting. So I'm going to leave y'all to it. I'm going to go downstairs and watch the darts. But I have this video, 140,000-year-old Homo erectus fossils found in Indonesia, and of course the Sundaland video. Highly recommend both of them if you want to know more about that area. So definitely highly recommend watching these two, please. But yeah, with that said, if you haven't watched my last 2 or 3 uploads, I remade my video on the oldest human settlement in Oregon, the Rimrock Draw Rock Shelter, about 2 weeks ago. I made a compilation video with all my fossilized human footprints discoveries that I've covered on the channel over the years, and it's in one fun video. And I also made a compilation video of my greatest discoveries, in my personal opinion, the greatest discoveries that were made in 2025. So, highly recommend watching those. As you can see, they're long. You can just whip them up and just, I don't know, do your house chores or whatever. You don't need to like fully watch and engage with all the content I made. But yeah, would be fun if you watch it and tell me if you like it. I am working on some fun new content on the channel very soon, hopefully this weekend and otherwise early next week. But yeah, I'm gonna watch the darts. I had a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining me. And yeah, I will be back with another live stream next week on Thursday. But with that said, I will see you next time. And have a lovely evening or day, depending on where you are. And have a happy new year. May all your wishes come true. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Bye.